Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Taranto from the Citizenship Academy. We are on Domain 5, Lesson 8, Reading Informational Text for Supporting Reasons and Evidence. Our objectives for today are to identify the main ideas of the text and explain how they're supported, and we're also going to plan an informational piece about a person from the Renaissance. Some key vocabulary for today: morals, ideas and beliefs about what is right and wrong. A reputation is the opinion or perception that other people have about someone or something. Pessimistic is having a negative or gloomy attitude, expecting that the worst will always happen. A brute is someone who is mean, tough, or a bully. Witty is clever and funny. Custom, a tradition practiced by a culture or group of people, and indulges to treat oneself or take much more than needed. You're going to go ahead and independently read the text today and do your best. Make sure you pause the video at any time if you need to read carefully. Okay, our word work for today is Machiavellian. Machiavelli's ideas about how a leader should govern gave rise to a new word, which is a synonym for clever in a dishonest way. This word is Machiavellian. Machiavellian means using clever tricks to achieve something, and this is an adjective. So now we're going to be working on a new task. So you've been learning all about these artists of the Renaissance, and what you're going to do is you're going to pick one of them that you're going to research a little bit further. So you have three choices. You can research Brunelleschi, Leonardo, or Michelangelo. You get to pick one of those three. Now, when you focus on a piece of writing, you're going to select one moment, an object, or an idea, and use precise details. We've been talking a little bit about that this unit. So for this one, you're going to be focusing your piece on one person. So it's going to be a biography, because a biography is a text that's written about a real-life person or that's someone that's describing that life. And you're going to also use several different resources in order to figure it out. So one of your sources that you're going to use is actually a reader, because that's been giving you quite a bit of information about these artists. So that's going to be one of your resources. So some note-taking techniques. So you're going to search the text for information related to the topic. So if you're going back in the story or into the reader, I'm going to be, and if I wanted to pick Raphael, I'm going to flip through the pages and look for information that's related to him. I'm not going to look at the Medici family. I'm not going to go look at Michelangelo. I'm going to focus on Raphael. So you're going to record notes in fragments and use paraphrasing to avoid plagiarism. What that means is you're not going to copy exactly from the text. Paraphrasing means you're changing the words into your own words, and fragments means you're just taking pieces of it. So if the sentence says, I went for a walk, I don't have to write out the whole sentence. I can just say went for a walk. That's a fragment. So make sure that you are not copying directly from the text for this one, because that will avoid some plagiarism. And you're going to choose an artist. Remember, I already told you what the three were listed. And you're going to take notes on the reader. So you have to pick one of them that you were most interested in, and that's the person you're going to focus on. And it's going to focus on their accomplishment, their life, their challenges, and achievements. So this is what your note chart is going to look like. So the first part is the early years. What happened in their childhood, with their family, and basically how their life started as an artist. The second part is their projects and accomplishments. What is special about them? Where did they become famous with? Who was their patronage? Some interesting facts, maybe or eventually you're going to write a diary entry about one of the artists, but for right now, you're just going to focus on some interesting things about them. And then the last thing is what made him great. So this is information. Why are they remembered? Why do we still talk about them today? So you're going to complete a chart that looks just like this. Now on this side, I'm showing you is the references. When you are pulling from the story or anywhere else that you're pulling evidence. So if you do choose to do some research online separate from your reader, make sure you write it down. What is the title of the article you're reading, the date that it was printed, and where did you find it? This is also going to help plagiarism. Remember, plagiarism's when someone copies someone else's work word for word, and that's really, really bad. We want to avoid that. So we want to make sure that if we're taking information from someone, we're giving them credit for it because they're the ones that wrote it. So make sure that if you are using something besides the reader, even if you are using the reader, make sure you create a reference sheet similar to this. Now this is my example. So this is what I would fill out if I was filling out my chart for Raphael. Now obviously I chose someone that you guys aren't using, that way you can see what I would write and not be able to copy. So for his early years, his birth name was Raffaello Sanzio. He was born in 1483, lost his parents when he was a child. By 11 years old, he was working as an apprentice in an art studio. In 1504, moved to Florence, studied the techniques of Michelangelo and Leonardo. Notice how it's not full sentences. These are in fragments, pieces of sentences. I don't need to write the whole sentence. I just need the gist of what those parts are. The projects and accomplishments, so some things. Notice how I'm kind of listing them too. And we talked about it previously, those commas. So one of his is the painting the School of Athens, comma, located in the Vatican in Rome. It was commissioned by Pope Julius II. It was reflecting admiration for the ancient Greeks. He had multiple paintings of Madonna and Jesus, his family, for patrons in Florence. Those are some of accomplishments that he's had. And then the question, what made him great? He was a masterful representation of natural human form, and he had an application of perspective. This is what I would complete for my chart, so make sure that when you select your person, this is similar to what it looks like. Notice I didn't just put one thing for each. I put a couple. I'd say at least 3. It'll make writing a lot easier when you have a lot of details to use from. This is going to be your rubric for this piece. You're going to want to look for a hook. Now, as I said before, we're going to use all of this evidence to write a diary entry. So that is why I'm showing you this now, so you kind of get an idea of what you're going to be expected to do. So the first thing is you want to hook. What is going to grab someone's attention? An introduction, a body, and conclusion like we normally have. And then the structure. Are your sentences and paragraphs, do they make sense? Did you paraphrase, meaning you didn't copy exactly from the story? Information from sources. So you're looking beyond just what's in the reader. That's going to be helpful too. And your headings are purposeful and clever. So this is what you're going to be looking for. But for right now, the only thing you're going to be completing is your planning sheet. So this is what you should be working on for today. And we will see everyone in the next lesson.